Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is well today. I just came back from London. We had our great workshop in London last week, very intense, very busy as usual. And now we are heading at the end of the year. So nice to have with us today some of the agents who we selected to invite in order to give more information about how to recruit students and especially how to do the interview and prepare them for the university in Greece. So what I prepared today, first of all, is I invite Sandra and Mrs. Panoraya.
Panorea, yeah.
Panoraya. Hello, Sandra. How are you today?
Hi, Richard. I'm fine. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, my pleasure too. Very nice to have you both with us today here. And I just asked to organize this meeting shortly, which is recorded, by the way, so I'm able to send this to all the other participants. And the reason of this meeting, it's always a little bit complicated to explain to everyone, but let me explain to all of the agents who are with us here today. By the way, I want to say hello to Shurinder, which is our colleague in Malaysia. And I know that he sent a lot of students as well to Europe at the moment. So well done. Yeah, the reason is I want to go through the agreement first of all. And I think maybe some of you did not finalize the agreement so far. So we just go through the agreement 1-2 minutes just to have a look into this. And then on top of that, I prepare a PDF document which show exactly what is very important to prepare for your students in order that they will get the admission into a Greek university. And then what I need from Sandra is a little bit, just 2 minutes, explain shortly the foundation, the bachelor, and the master. So I saw that we receive several agreements in the meantime back from some of you. Thank you very much. I even see that some of the agents already started to book some students. They start to ask me questions. And I pass this over to Sandra and her team, so they will follow up everything. But let me share my screen first, and thank you everyone to be here again, as well the new that just joined us today. We are here with the university directly in Greece, with Sandra and Mrs. Panoraia. And we are just giving an explanation how to recruit the students, because in the end of the day, I mean, for every student, you get 50% commission for the bachelor and for the master on the year 1. And on top of that, you will get as well a commission for the year 2 and for the year 3. So it's very, very important that you are not missing any single application, because it will be very sad if you prepare the students and if you prepare yourself and your team, and then in the end of the day, they will not get a visa to enter to Greece. So we should avoid this. And for this, we have to work hard in the beginning in order to understand that your students will get the visa. So let me go first. I just share my screen. We go with the agreement first, so just 2 minutes to have an overview. So the agreement that you receive is this one, and is the agreement between the European Public Law Organization and your agency. So very important is I always suggest everyone read the agreement. Do not only sign, but read the agreement and sign on every single page. And then on the end of the page, you need to stamp as well, the stamp of your company. This is the law in Greece. They need to have a partnership with the agency who will sign and stamp. This is very, very important. In case you did not done this so far, go through the agreement. I don't read now the agreement. You have the agreement. But if you have any questions about the agreement, now is a good time. There is a chat system below. You can type here any questions you have in regarding of the agreement. and Sandra and Mrs. Panoraya will be able to answer you all the questions that you may have in refer of the agreement. So you received the agreement. In case you did not receive the agreement as well, just put your email inside on the chat system and we will resend you a copy of the agreement. But I just want to show you the article number 3, which I think is very important for you to know, because what I'm saying is the reality. You will get 50% commission on the first year for bachelor and master. Okay, so bachelor and master will start next year in October 2024. Very important. And the deadline to book the students is in March, end of March. So very important is that if you have any students for bachelor and master, you need to book them by the end of March, not in April, not in May, by the end of March, as indicated here. Unfortunately, the university will not accept any students after these terms. So important, you will get as well a commission for the second year and the third years. On top of that, you will get a commission for the foundation course. As you know, there is a foundation course starting in February. So now is the right time to book your students now. Today, 5th of December, book your students. Tomorrow, after tomorrow, do not wait until January. Just try to book the students now as soon as possible. This is fundamental. And every time you book a student, you need to make the payment of 50 euro. Make the payment on the same day, so the university can understand application and payment, and they can do like this one. If not, it will get very, very complicated. So the rest, you can read it yourself. You receive all the documents, marketing material, brochure. We sent you everything by email, but in case you did not receive it, now is the right moment. You just type down your email and you say you did not receive it. We will send you this again back to you. Okay, signature here and stamp. Very simple. This is the first part. Second part, Sandra, maybe re-explain in 2-3 minutes, foundation, bachelor, and master. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Richard. So, Richard, do you want me to put on the power presentation?
Yes.
Shall I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Just for you to know, this school offers basically 2 disciplines, European law and sorry for that. Sorry. Okay, so it offers 2 disciplines, European law and global governance. I'm now going to share with you the basic degrees. Okay. So undergraduate in the undergraduate degrees, we have BA in European governance, LLB in European law, and bachelor's in European law and governance, which is a combo degree. 2 years from one discipline and 1 year from the other discipline. And your student can choose which discipline will do for the 2 years. In the postgraduate degrees, we have LLM in EU law and master's in governance. We have 1 more degree in LLM in international economic law. You will see it in my presentation just after, which is by the EPLO. So we have 3 degrees in the postgraduate programs. And on the research degrees, which is only research, they do 1 year in the Master of Studies, so they can get 1 master degree, but research, of course. And then they can do up to the PhD, using their first year of Master of Studies as a as a first step on their PhD. So their first year on Master of Studies will not be lost. They can use it as the first year of their PhD. Okay, so what you can do, we have also a foundation course, especially for students that would like to, that are not very keen on their English. They know English, but they do not know terminology. So this is a 4-month course. It starts on February and stops on May. This year, February 2024 up to May 2024. And it is both for the undergraduate students, those who want to go into the undergraduate level, or those who want to go into the postgraduate level. The duration, as I said, is 1 semester. It's 6 modules, and it's 4,000 euros. And it starts on February 18, and the deadline for applications is on January 15, 2024. It is also for postgraduate, as pre-master, some call it, a pre-master's course, usually for those who do not have any idea on European law, if they want to go through the legal acts, or those who do not know terminology in English. Just take a note that they will need to know some English, because they cannot understand English just by having 4 months of English intensive lessons. Let me also go into the entry requirements. Richard, is it that okay? Should I go to the entry requirements? Okay. So for the foundation course, you will need a completed online application form in English. The link you will find in the presentation that Richard has already shared with you. Scanned passport or ID, high school or university degree, high school or university transcript. For the foundation, the minimum IELTS is 4, so it's really low. Personal statement and a registration fee that is it will not be given back, the registration fee. Similar prerequisites are for the degrees. So if one of your students has already passed the entry requirements for the foundation, it is a very good base also for the degrees. I will not repeat the similar things that we have already mentioned for the foundation, but take into consideration that for the proficiency of English, we need a minimum score of 5.5 at least. And of course, the other equivalencies in other degrees. We have them analytically here. You can always go into the presentation and check it. Personal statement, 400 to 600 words, and reference letters, especially for the postgraduate degrees, to be sent directly from the referee to the relevant program, to the email of the program. You just enter your the student's application online. So there are links in this presentation. I will show you. I have a full. Okay, you can see the programs here. First of all, there are analytically what the programs offer. This is for the undergraduate degree, the LLB in European law. Mark that it is not a national law, it's European law. So your students will become legal experts in Europe and how to work with Europe and how to do business with Europe. They will not become lawyers in their own country. They have to know national law to become lawyers. You can, of course, make applications for students that have already a degree in law and they want to expand their knowledge in European and international law. That, of course. The postgraduate is the LLM in EU law. The master's in governance. Governance is a 3-axe discipline. It contains public administration, international relations, and political science. It is more of a political science degree. We have it for political analysts. They can work in banks, in legal firms, in NGOs, in the public sector of your country. They have a very expanded and broad horizon in terms of their careers. And of course, the LLM in international economic law, as already mentioned. And there is one page here where you can do all your applications. Here you have the links of your applications and also a link to the payment portal for the registration fee, which is non-refundable, as I said. And this registration fee you can pay by debit card, by credit cards, sorry, in the through the payment portal. So you don't have extra fees by banks and so on. So I believe I said it all.
Yes, Sandra, perfect. This is what I want to hear. I just want to welcome the agent who just joined us at the moment. We went through the agreement, and in case you did not have the agreement so far, just put your email down on the chat system and we will send you a copy of the agreement. Very important, when you sign the agreement, put the stamp of your company. We are here with a university in Greece, which offers 50% commission for the bachelor and the master program, year one. And on top of that, which will start in October 2024, the deadline is end of March 2024. But on top of that, they offer as well the foundation for the students with lower English possibility, a lower academic. That means they can enter with 4.0 in IELTS. So, Sandra, just make a little bit recapitulation of everything which we discussed in the previous webinar. Today, the meeting is focused on how to have a successful visa for your students, because we can do all the work, you can do all the work, Sandra can do all the work, but if in the end you don't have any success rate, then all our work is done for nothing. So we prepare something. We made a research as well in the last months. We didn't have much time, but we made a research about Greece. We check other Greek university as well. And I can give you only good news today. And I'm surprising as well about this, but let me share my screen. Let me share my screen a second. Okay. This is, I hope you can see the Word document here. It is surprising to see the figure 99.5 end of 2022. This was, for 2023, they're not ready yet, but that's mean back to 2021, they accept a lot of students coming from everywhere, Southeast Asia, India, Africa, Latin America, Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, etc. So Greece is open to welcome international students. Logically, before to go into this level, you need to do an interview to your students and prepare them, because as well the Greek embassy is a little bit tough, a little bit like the UK. So I will not read everything because I don't like to read it. I want that you take your time to read everything. But what I want to go is a little bit more about the main point of everything. Logically, you need to enroll the students. You know this. I don't have to explain you how to do this. Complete a document. This is a standard view. So this is a little bit the step that you have to follow to get the application. Now, there are a lot of discussion going on at the moment in terms of the tuition fee. And I have to explain you something here, which is a little bit delicate, but as you're all professional, you will understand immediately. Now, the university, for them, it's fine. You do the application, you pay 50 euro. You wait until you get the response from the Greek embassy. And if everything is okay, then after the acceptance and the visa, the students can pay the tuition fee, which is fine. Everyone is happy. But there is a line in between. The Greek embassy, for them is fine as well. But some people work in the Greek embassy, like in every embassy, are a little bit more tough. That means they're looking into the financial part of the students. And there are many points that we look into this for Greece. The first of all, they need to have at least 8,000 to 10,000 euro on the bank account. The money should be maturated at least 45 days in the bank. the students need to explain to the Greek embassy how do they get this money in the bank account. Has to be in the bank account from the students or from the parents. Cannot be inside from the cousin, the uncle, the friend, etc. The money must be inside in the bank account of the students or of the parents. Okay, so this is very, very important. There is no other way. It cannot be an agency, etc. And logically, let's say that someone put the money inside in the bank account 46 days before in one shot. Doesn't look very good. It will look good if the students has the money in the last 2 years. You know, every month maybe they get 500 euro, 800 euro. I just make an example. So they can, because they need to print the last 2 years of the bank account. So the embassy want to see exactly how do they get this money. Very important. Now, there are other possibilities. If the parents, every parent has a bank account, they can show as well the parents' bank account, logically. And I presume that the parents are working, or maybe if they're working, they receive a salary every month. So they can show in the last 2 years that they receive this amount of money. And they save this money, about 8,000 to 10,000 euro, for the son or the daughter who want to go to study in Greece. So you need to prepare like a concept, you know, with your students, and show that this money was a genuine money. This is very, very important here, the genuinity of the money. Logically, they can ask a scholarship. Some students ask a scholarship in the home country and they receive a scholarships or a fund. Okay, if they can prove this, this is even better. Now, something else, especially in Southeast Asia, the Greek embassy will ask if they own a house or an apartment. So if some of the students, they are, or parents, owns a house, an apartment, they have to demonstrate this, that they own a house, an apartment, including what is the value of the house and the apartment. Okay, this is very, very important. You are very familiar. You are all top professional agents here with me, so you are aware about this. To prepare the financial part. So more big is the document you show to the Greek embassy in refer of the financial part, easy it is to get the visa. Okay, so this is a very, very important part. You have to really talk to your students, they have to talk to the parents, and they have to make sure that they can demonstrate that they have enough money, and as well that they have money when they come back. But I will come back to this in a second step. Now, one of the questions the Greek embassy will ask is why you choose Greece. Okay, there are many countries in Europe, so you have to prepare your students and explain to them why they choose Greece, why they do not choose France or England or Germany, and why they choose this university and not another university in Greece. So it's very important they have to explain the reason why they choose this university and why they want to do this type of program. So it's very important that they prepare an excellent SOP, but they read the SOP as well, and they are ready to explain why they want to do this type of bachelor or master program. And when they receive the bachelor or the master program, what is their intention to do after? So this is very important, the intention when is finished the master. So we suggest, WEBA suggests that this student should find a job in the home country and go to some companies and ask them, if I'm going to Europe and if I'm doing this master program, if I come back to my home country, will I get a job? So if they have like a letter from some company who will write down, we will accept you if you do the master in Europe, you come back to my country, we will give you a job. So if you can organize this letter, this is already 35% a plus. A letter from an employees in the home country which accept the students master in Europe when they come back. So if they can show this to the Greek embassy, we are getting there to get the visa. So this is the first important part. Another very important part is the accommodation. The Greek embassy will ask, the second question is where you will stay in Athens. So you must be ready to answer the question. Your student must be ready to answer the question. The address, the location, how much it costs, the food. They will ask questions to the student, how much it costs the food, how much it costs the coke, how much it costs the living in Greece. So they need to be ready to answer this question. So if you don't know where your student will be accommodated, you can always contact Sandra and her team, and they will give you options. They will give you options. Sandra, maybe you can explain a bit about the accommodation, please.
Panorea, can you please elaborate?
Sure. So with regards to accommodation, our campus, which is like an hour drive from 50 minutes drive from Athens, from downtown Athens, has a guest house, which is fully renovated, refurbished, and can accommodate up to 40 students, both in double occupancy or single occupancy, depends on the availability. This is a place where there is the students can safely stay. There is security. There are drivers that can take them to help them to go for shopping, etc., to the supermarket. They can walk. There is an area there, a village where they can buy the necessary things. So it's an area and it's a place where they can safely stay, and they have their own rooms with, I mean, when there's a guest house, there is a room with a bathroom inside the room, so it's not a shared bathroom. And they can share the kitchen and the common premise, the common areas to the living room, the library station, some desks where they can study, etc. And nearby, like 1 minute walk, 10 seconds walk, it's the university.
We have 40 actually. The accommodation can be for 40 students. 40. Okay, so if more students come and they want accommodation, they will need to contact us. We can give some suggestions, and we can give them also some other options. But they will be served as they come in. So as soon as you do the application, please also ask us for the accommodation, so you can accommodate your students as soon as possible.
What is the price of the accommodation per month, more or less?
So for single occupancy, it's around 600 euros, including around 600 euros, including for 60. I mean, now it depends also on the room, etc. So there is a range. So around 600 euros for a single occupancy, including the utilities, the electricity, etc., internet. For double occupancy is around 350. Around, depends again on the room.
Okay, this is very important. Will the university issue a letter of confirmation for the students?
With regards to accommodation?
Yes.
Yes, we can issue a letter that says that the students that are coming, they can be hosted to the guest house, which is situated there, etc., upon a fee of the fee.
Fantastic. And then, okay, we'll come later on in regarding of the insurance. Yes. Shurinder asked me a very interesting question. Shurinder is from Malaysia, and as I mentioned before, he sent a good number of students to Europe. Will the school provide a letter to the embassy, the Greek embassy? We suggest.
A letter? Go on. Okay, Sandra.
Okay, what the school provides is, first of all, the letter of acceptance of the students. And then they do a letter for the Greek embassy explaining that this student has been accepted, and for the visa issuance.
Perfect. So this is very, very important. Then I already reply on the chat system that the university will send a letter directly to the Greek embassy. So everything is very, very clear. Now, in regard of the insurance for the visa process, this is a question that came as well from some of my staff. And to be honestly, at the moment, I'm not ready to answer these questions. Sandra, how we can help the students in the affair of the insurance? Because for the visa process, the Greek embassy requests to have an insurance in Greece.
Honorea, can you elaborate?
Okay, with regards to the insurance, after they have taken, I mean, we can offer a simpler health insurance coverage after they have come to Greece. I mean, it's not possible for us to offer contracts for students that are based somewhere else.
Okay.
So that we should be true. I mean, we can issue a letter that after they come here, we can offer a health insurance coverage, but not before. We cannot have.
Okay. This
Before.
is very important. This is Mrs. Honoré. This is very, very important to issue this letter for the insurance because the Greek embassy is requesting this. Okay, this is very important. So, is there any
that may be upon a fee? Okay, so I have to clarify, but it will not be. I mean, it will be like a small fee.
Yes. We know that there is a small fee, but in affair of the insurance for 2024, we will send an email to every agent and re-explain this exactly how much is the cost per year, and I will ask the university to prepare as well a letter for the insurance to send to the Greek embassy with a copy to the students. And this is very, very important because the Greek embassy has to make sure that the health insurance is covered when they are leaving the home country. Now, some agent asked me about any role of the WEFS for the Greek embassy. Depends from Greek embassy to Greek embassy. There are many Greek embassies around the world. Every embassy has a different agreement. Some embassy accept direct applications. Some other agency, some other embassy, you need to go through the WEFS, which is an agent, especially in India. We're talking about India at the moment. So then I receive a request on the chat. How much is the fund to be in the bank account? Okay. I will repeat one more time. The fund should be between 8,000 to 10,000 euro. The fund should be in the student's bank account or parent's bank account. The fund should be at least 45 days maturated in the bank account. The fund should be in the bank account not in one shot, but maybe from the last 2 years, every month a little bit. Or maybe safe, if they have a safe account, the parents, they can show that this amount is for the students. And then do we need to translate each document in Greek language as per embassy requirement and university? Sandra?
Honorea, please elaborate on those questions.
What should I elaborate for?
Yeah, one agent is asking if they need to translate each document in a Greek language.
No, for us, okay, that's why we are an international organization. The Greek language, how much for the embassy?
For the embassy, yes.
They haven't asked us for a translation. None of the embassies have asked us for translation. We are giving the English version. We're an international organization. We issue everything. Our language is English. We issue everything in English and we provide it in English.
Yes, because the gentleman asked this question, he has some issue with Spain. Every country is a little bit different, so it's not much we can do.
None of the embassies has asked us for Greek, but to say that if there is an embassy, because probably there exists one, that asks for Greek, we can make a certificate with double language. So the English and the Greek language, we are Greeks, we can translate it if there is such a necessity.
Thank you very much. This is very helpful from your side. So this is in regarding of the Greek embassy. Now, if you have more questions, just put it down on the chat system. So let's go back here on this part. Okay, let me go here. Proof of financial, I already explained here. Health insurance, we talk about this. Criminal record certificate, very important. Proof of accommodation, as explained here before. So everything should be clear now. So now, why the visa is denied? You cannot believe me. This morning at 7 o'clock, I received a phone call from a student from Myanmar and asking me if he can do another interview to the embassy of Poland, I think, because he was late for the interview. So when, you know, this is common. We lose every year, in general, about 20–30% of clients, students, because they are late. Maybe there was too much on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, so they were late. So this is the biggest problem we have. Maybe this generation is too spoiled and they don't take this so seriously. I remember in my age, when I was 20, I was looking at my father with 2 eyes and he just looked at me one time and I understand everything. So we have to teach our students to be on time, to be early. If the meeting is 8 o'clock, they should be there at 7 o'clock, not at 8 eventually. So this is something very, very important, and which always disappoints me when I receive this information from agent asking me that unfortunately the student was not able to be there on time. So make sure your student is there on time, early, 1 hour before. So why the insufficient financial? Because I explained it already to you now, how much money they need to have, since how long must be maturated. Make sure that the money is in a bank account from the family, mother or father, or the student, not from the uncle, not from the cousin, and not from an agency. The money must be in the bank account of the family. This is very, very important. Okay, so if the money is not in the bank account of the family, out, they will not get any visa. Okay, in refer of what to do after the visa, you are all professional. I don't have to explain you here what they have to do it. So there are some frequently asked questions which you can read, which you can prepare yourself. I will send a copy of this letter that we made for all of you. So we have some more questions come inside. So from Ashok Basanet, what will be the refund process of tuition fee if visa refused? Ashok, I explained this already, that the tuition fee must be paid after visa, not before. Before, your students need to pay 50 euro only with the application. So they need to do the application and pay 50 euro, and these 50 euro are not refundable, not refundable. Now, this is a good question that I want to bring on board. And I think that can be very useful for you to understand. You're all professional. I don't have to explain you this business, how it goes. But if the Greek embassy will have one student who decided to pay maybe a deposit of 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 euro in advance to the university, it helps. It helps a lot. It helps a lot, believe me. Logically, you don't have to. You can pay 50 euro, you can pay until you get the visa, and then after you have to pay the 100%. But if they pay a deposit, this will show to the Greek embassy a big advantage. Now, if they pay a deposit and they will get visa refusal, then the university will pay the money back. There is absolutely no discussion on this. The university do not want to make any money out of it. Maybe they will take the usual 100 euro as expenses for bank transfer back and forward. But when you go to the application process, you let us know. and we will check together how is the situation with the students. Logically, if this student has enough money on the bank account, the money is matured at 45 days, and everything is fine, then is no need. Then is no need. But if you feel that these students do not have enough financial, then do not risk, because it's very sad for the students to receive a refusal. So we prefer to have a meeting before to understand if these students will get the visa or not. So usually,
Richard, can I interfere here?
yes, Sandra.
3 years ago, we had some students coming from India, from an agent, and these students probably they did not match the prerequisites of the Greek embassy. So they all had done their deposits in our school, and they were trying to get the visa. However, their papers were fake. Their papers were fake, or they did not match the other criteria already mentioned by Richard, and they were all of them, 20 students, were all rejected.
Logically, if the student provide a fake document,
yeah, and we had to go back and start sending one by one in a year time, let's say, because it takes time to send. So what we would like to have is, for us, it's preferable that they do not pay in advance. But if you see that there is a risk and you have a good student there, I mean, a student that may be getting the visa for the Greek authorities. It's the same in Italy. It's the same in every place. It's not different in Greek. All the Mediterranean is approximately the same. Spain, Italy, Greece, they all have the same restrictions. It's not something very different. So you will see that if a student marks well, I mean, don't try to bring a student that will not mark well in the checklist for the Greek embassies, because Greek embassies are also quite strict as the Italian ones or the Spanish ones.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. No, you're right. Another very important point, Sandra, is we're talking about the loan. Every student around the world, if they receive a loan from the government in his own country or any other loan, there is absolutely not a problem. Every embassy will accept. There is no embassy who will say, we will not accept it because you receive a loan. But the problem is not the loan. The problem is, do you have enough financial possibility to live in Greece? I mean, you have to understand the accommodation for a double room is around 400 euro, 350, 400 euro. For a single room is 600, 700. So they need to eat as well. So we must understand that the students need, at least, if they take a double room, at least 8,000 euro per year. So if they cannot show this, they will never get a visa. So the financial part is usually 80% of the decision from an embassy, especially from Greece as well, but from every embassy. So you have to make sure, you have to check the financial sustainability from the students. Then logically, your students can work as well in Greece. If they receive a student visa, they are able to work. But if the Greek embassy will ask, are you working in Greece? You don't have to say yes as a student. You have to say, no, I'm going there to study. Maybe on the second year, I will start to work part-time on the weekend. It depends always how you answer. This is a very important part. You have to teach your students how to answer the questions. But again, can be very helpful if they have a company who will get the students when they go back in the home country, if they will hire the students when they go back in the home country, if they have a letter that can show that they will be hired when they go back in the home country because they did the master in a European law. I mean, this is fantastic. We have to be very, how you say, we have to be very, we have to go to the point. We have to understand, if we are the Greek embassy, what kind of question will ask the students. And so prepare a letter from a company in the home country which said that they will hire the students when they come back with a master or the bachelor. This is a big help. Prepare the financial situation of the students. Make sure, look into the details, look into the document before that you go to the Greek embassy. You get 50% commission, 50. I mean, it's 5,000 euro for you, 5,000 euro. You don't get 5,000 euro just out of this. So it's important you really look into the document before that your students will go to the Greek embassy, and make sure that they don't bring fake document, because we are in 2023 now, 2024 soon. I receive a fake document every month on my table. IELTS fake, academic document fake, etc. Avoid this. Important. Do not do this. Maybe in 5-6 years ago, it went through somehow, but now it doesn't went through anymore. No fake document. All the Greek embassy, every embassy will find this out. And it will be very bad, because this will give a negative as well for the university, if they get students with a fake document. So make sure that these documents are genuine. And as well, the financial situation is very genuine of the students. They can bring as well a spouse if they wish. They can, in Greece, yes. But they have to apply separately, not together with the students. They have to apply separately, but they still need to show they have enough financial to cover the cost of the spouse. This is very, very important. Okay, but don't take this as a main point to sell in Greece, because if you take this as a main point to sell in Greece, you will never manage. They can take a spouse. They have to do this separately, and they need as well to show financial enough money. Then we have more questions coming in. Yeah, there is a part-time job working for student visa. They can work 20 hours per week. Yes, if they have a Schengen visa, they can travel all around Europe. They can travel all around Europe. Very important. If they study in Greece, they can travel to Italy, to France, to Germany, to Austria, to Switzerland. They can travel with a Schengen visa. Make sure that you do not send students who will escape. We have all this type of situation as well. So make sure you have genuine students who will decide to go to Greece and study in Greece. If they want to spend the weekend outside Greece in some European country, they're more than welcome. But make sure that you send genuine students, because if you send one student who will escape, unfortunately, the university will not accept any students from your agency anymore. So don't do this. I mean, this is very, very important. Make sure that your students are genuine and provide genuine document. This is in regarding of Greece. I think that many of your students will need a foundation, because the entry level is quite low, is 4.0 on IELTS, 4.0 on IELTS, or another English certificate. So they accept other English certificates as well, like Duolingo, like TOEFL, like Cambridge, etc., Pearson, etc. So now is the right time to book your students. And remember, when you do the application online, you have to pay only 50 euro. And then after you pay the tuition fee, after your students will get the visa. If you have more questions, just put it down. Yes. When the students graduate, many students who graduate in Greece, they do the bachelor. The majority of them, they do the master program as well. But then when they finish, they can add, they can stay for another 1 year. They can add more time. Logically, if they find a job, they can stay for more years. It depends. Depends, because in Europe, when especially in Greece, when you get a job, if they're happy with the students, maybe they receive the possibility to stay longer. But usually it's 1 year. Okay, Sandra, maybe you want to add some more point?
One thing also about the studies. just make sure with regards to when they ask what will you do with this degree, what are the career prospects, you have to know a bit that and to be very concise that this is a degree that will help me work in my country, that it will help me get a glimpse of what Europe is all about, of how the European institutions work. I would like to work, let's say, in an NGO or in a firm or in a law office or even in a bank. That is what my aspiration. They have to understand that you understand what the degree is all about, what the context of the studies are all about. And also for the foundation, you can just say that I'm going to, this is like a pre-course to help me understand and to go into the further degrees of this university because I'm interested in that and that. So just make sure and dig a little bit into what the degree is all about, and also about the political science, which is a wider degree. It helps in many different things. It can lead as a base degree as well for other sciences. You can say that, for example, I will use this degree to have it as a first degree, and then I would like to do, for example, business administration or something else in another university, and I'm thinking of this university. So you can just make like a career plan to show to the authorities.
Yeah.
Honoret, do you have anything more to add from your experience with the Greek authorities?
No, I mean, I'm covered. This is what we experience every day. I mean, yes. You know,
and about the health insurance also, we do like a group health insurance for the students. The students can benefit from this with a lower fee. I saw a question with regards to that, with a low extra fee.
Yeah. On top of that, I want to inform you that I'm planning, and I will then ask Sandra if she can help me. I'm planning to organize a webinar for your students. So that's mean your students should be here, not you. You can be here as well, but your students can be here. So we will re-explain to your students after they apply, logically not before. After they apply, they pay the €50. And we will organizing a webinar, not one. We organize several webinars. This is the intent, because we want to be successful here in this business. And my aim, I'm a business person. My aim is that my agents are successful and they get 50% commission out of this business. Remember, you get 20% for the foundation in February, but you get 50 again in October. So you get twice the commission, and again next year for the second year, and again in 30 years. You will read in the agreement, and the second year, I think you receive
20%.
20%, and on the
10% on the third year.
Yeah, on the fourth year, you have to offer me a dinner. This is very important. Very important. We want to organizing something as well for your students. So I will talk to Sandra about this later on, but it's important to create a webinar so where your student can come here, and we see when we say meeting 8 o'clock UK time, we see how many students are there on time. So we can immediately know if your students are ready to answer the question from the Greek embassy, if they will be there on time, you know, because if students come half an hour later or 20 minutes later, it means they are not ready. Because I'm like a Swiss train, I like to be on time. When I say 8 o'clock, is 8 o'clock. It's not 10 past 8, it's not 20 past 8, it's 8 o'clock. So if we cannot be on time, how we can pretend that our students are on time? This is the question that I always say to my 3 kids. They are 22, 27, 30. So I say, I have to be the one who explain them. We have to be on time. And we lose every year about 30% of students because they are not on time. So for this, I want to organize a webinar and invite all your agents and your students to come together. So we will re-explain to the students how they need to prepare themselves for the interview at the Greek embassy. On top of that, Mrs. Panaroya will explain you now shortly in 1 minute that your students will receive as well an interview from the university, which we did not explain you today. We explained this in the 2 previous webinars. And this is very important. And, you know, you still need to prepare an excellent SOP in order to be accepted from the university. And Mrs. Panaroya, can you maybe explain what happened during the interview?
This is a short interview. It's an interview in order to understand whether the student that wants to come is committed, is willing to do this study. So what we are asking is what her background is, what she has done her studies. We understand also here the English level. I mean, if what the documents say depict the reality. We want also to understand whether we have a motivated student to learn from our university and to continue in her country or in Europe or in another country and exercise and do the profession that she wants to do relating to the studies. I mean, it's more a personal interview to understand also the needs of the students. So we're asking, why do you want to study that? So we can guide him also to the right diploma, probably, if he hasn't understood whether he wants to do master's, LLB, or governance, bachelor in governance. So we have also the mix, the mix of law and governance, that they can also combine both studies. So it's also an opportunity to guide them to what they really need from our university if they have not have the best picture of it. So it's not an interview to, let's say, to make students fail, but it's an interview to help students to find their appropriate program and also to understand whether they are dedicated and motivated. Because when you come to our university, it's true that you have to study. I mean, it's not an easy thing. You have to be there to follow your classes, to make the assignments.
The usual.
It's usual. So we want to make sure that we have students that are ready to do it. So if we check that there is a student that says, I want to come because I want to get allowed and travel to Europe and have the visa to go and work, I mean, understand that their purpose is not studying, this is a problem.
I want to say something. I repeat this in the last webinar as well, is the student age. In Greece, they're open. So if someone is 27 years old, want to start a bachelor, is more than welcome, no problem. If you want to do a master with 45 years, is more than welcome. There is absolutely not a problem. So this is a great advantage. So there are many great advantages. One is for you, the commission. Don't forget. The second one is they have the foundation with 4.0 on IELTS starting now on February. So you can apply 20 students just like that. You know that. I know some of you. You apply so many students for other university, and this you have an Excel commission year 1, year 2, year 3, plus the foundation, and you should take advantage about this one. Then another very important point, your student can be 27 years old, 32 years old. That is absolutely not a problem. Accommodation available in Greece from 350 euro per month. Very interesting. So you have a lot of advantage in selling. We do in business. I say selling. I know it's not so nice in education, but in recruiting international students from your home country. And you have a great team, by the way. Sandra and her team will help you as well with interview. We are here. We did a special webinar today with you, and we explained that we will help you as well, support you with your students. You are not alone. We will help you. We will help your students. And this is very important. You can bring in one shot, if you want, 50 students. If some of you say to me, Richard, I have many students, I want to be alone. No problem. You can invite all the students only for your agency. We can do a webinar, but only the students who apply, okay? Not the one before, because the first job should be done from your side. You get 50% commission, 50, which is about 4,000 or 5,000 euro per student. So your great job should be apply the students, pay the 50 euro, and then after we organize the webinar. And it will be interesting to know if some of you is planning to send more than 5 students in 2024 to the university? If yes, please put this down on the chat system. I'm very curious to understand if some of you is ready to apply more than 5 students, because for me, it's very important to understand which agents are the one that we thinking, let's say, a priority agents, because one of the work that Sandra told me in the beginning when my first meeting is she want to select a good number of agents for long term, not only for now, but for long term. And if she have some good agents, she will not shopping around in your country. Let's presume you're coming from, I make an example, from a country, I make Colombia in South America. If she has 2 agents in Colombia who work very well, she's happy, she gets the student, genuine student, she will not look into other agents in Colombia. So the same is here today. And this is about relationship, because it will be very disappointing for you if your students will go to your agency today and tomorrow they will go another agency on the same city and they will find the same university. So all your work, maybe you do advertisement on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat, etc. But you lose the students because he will go to another agency. Okay, so now this is the beginning of the cooperation. You show to us that you can bring more than 5 students, then this is something that we appreciate a lot, and we understand that this can be a very important partner. In refer of the tuition fee, maybe I go back to Sandra shortly. The tuition fee for the foundation, if you can just repeat one more time, and the tuition fee for the bachelor and the master. If you can share this for a second.
I will share my screen.
Yes.
Just to say that for the foundation, the tuition fee is 4,000 euros, and for so here's the fees for the foundation, 4,000 euros, and for the rest of the programs we have 9,900. Just put on the financial. 9,900 for each undergraduate program. And 13,000 for each postgraduate program. And for the research degrees, it's 15,000. We have only one exception. The exception is, let me check here. Yeah, here, found it last. So the exception is for the LLM in international economic law, it's 20,000.
Leave it as so they make some photos.
Yeah, sure. I will put it full screen for them to see.
So you can imagine if you have a student who will pay 20,000 euro, you get 10,000 euro commission, which is not bad. And I know many of you, they send students to the UK with the tuition fee is even much higher. Okay, thank you very much. I think that we cover quite all the questions that yes, the university will send an accommodation letter and a health insurance letter to the Greek embassy directly, just for Mohammed Zubair, who just asked these questions. And yeah, this is all about the university in Greece. We will resend you a copy of the agent's agreement for the one who indicated here that they did not receive it. And we will send as well some marketing material and some additional video. So I invite everyone to start the application process of the students, especially for the foundation, which the deadline is the 15th of January, but I suggest to start to book them as soon as possible yesterday. And for the bachelor and master, the deadline is the 30 March for starting in October. So as well here, start to book your students as soon as possible. We will come back to you in the fair of a webinar for your direct students. Yes, I will send you the agreement, Ashok. Thank you very much. I think we covered everything. Sandra, you want to add something more, or Mrs. Panoraya?
I would like to thank everybody that was here and that listened to your nice presentation, Richard. And thank you all for just considering the offer of this school. We are here, whatever you want. I select all questions. I distribute them into my team and also to Panorea's team. And they are actually quickly. Up to now, I think we are quite quick in the responses. Let's hope that we will keep up the pace, and I'm here whatever you want. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, and we're here to support the students. That's true, and all the effort.
Thank you very much. And the offer letter usually will be sent out within 1 week for the foundation. So very important. We are very fast. Thank you, everyone. Have a good health, have a good spirit, have a nice week, a good business, and I'm available as Sandra and Mrs. Panoria all the time. What we have here is a student mature financial fund in account for 45 days before applying for a visa. Yes, 45 days is what I invite everyone. There is not a rule. There is not a rule for Greek, but 45 days is a good timing, show that the students has enough fund. And I know, Mr. Zubair Afzal, that you can send a good number of students. I know you, I know your agency, and I know the majority of you. So thank you very much. We keep in touch. Good business, good health. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.